Morning, glory, America. Bonjour, hi, Canada. I'm Hugh Hewitt in Studio North, joined by my old friend, Governor Doug Ducey, formerly governor of Arizona for 8 years, treasurer of Arizona for 8 years. Before that, highly successful entrepreneur, and now founder of Citizens for Free Enterprise. He was going to be joined this morning by Kim Reynolds of Iowa, but tornadoes have buffeted the Iowa people, and so she'd taken care of business there, Governor. You know that. When disaster strikes, you go home, right?
That's job number one, Hugh. It's great to hear your voice. Great to be back on the show.
Well, Governor, let's talk about first of all, you did a 2.5% flat tax in Arizona, and you did complete school choice in Arizona. How are those two things working out for Arizona before we turn to Citizens for a Better Economy?
Well, Arizona's booming. We've got more people moving in than we can find houses for or build houses for. So I think it's a good problem to have. We think growth is a good thing, and the state's either growing or declining. So Arizona is really headed in the right direction. I wish we had a different governor in office right now, but I think the economic momentum that we have couldn't even be stopped by Joe Biden. So there's a lot of good things. The 2.5% flat tax is attracting people to the state, and then universal school choice is what I want to talk about today. I'm joining Kim Reynolds. We're partnering on something with the Job Creators Network and the American Legislative Exchange Council to spread this throughout the land. There's 11 states today, Hugh, that have universal school choice. Arizona was the first state in the country to do this. Iowa followed. Now 9 other states have done this, and we have a goal to get this done and to have 26 states doing this by 2026.
This is a powerful appeal to the American people because it's common sense and they don't like their public schools when there's no choice. What is Citizens for Free Enterprise, Governor? That's your new organization.
Yes, Citizens for Free Enterprise is educating and advocating for free enterprise. We're also getting more people involved in the process, actually participating civically, voting, understanding economic policy, and making sure they hold elected leaders accountable for good economic policy and that they pay consequences when there's bad policy.
Now, it's interesting to me that Citizens for Free Enterprise, plus the American Legislative Exchange Council, plus the Job Creators Network have all joined to push something that's not in their job title. They're all pushing school choice, and it's got nothing to, it's not in their job title. It's not like Corey DeAngelo, who I love. Why did you guys settle on the joint effort around school choice?
Well, if you think about free enterprise, Hugh, it's included under the umbrella of freedom. And what's happened in our American K-12 system has been a cartel system where kids are being indoctrinated, where parents' values aren't being supported at the local level. So this idea of education freedom falls under free enterprise. And these are going to be our leaders and employees and entrepreneurs of the future. We want to make sure they know something of value. We also want to get back to some of the fundamentals. These ideas of reading, writing, being able to analyze numbers, understanding American civics isn't happening in many of our K-12 district schools. In our schools of choice, you're familiar with Great Hearts and Basis in Arizona, and they began out of this choice movement that started with charter schools in 1994 that has resulted in what is today universal ESAs, or educational savings accounts. This really is the way forward. And at the state level, if for conservative governors and Republican legislatures, this is the number one issue in which you can move forward. This will support free enterprise. We'll have more productive people, dynamic people inside the workforce and pushing our economy forward. And they'll also know something of value versus some of the kids you see at our most elite universities today that really don't know anything about what's happening in the world and certainly didn't follow their schoolwork.
Now, I want to explain to America the reason Doug Ducey is so persuasive. He's from Ohio originally. He just went down to Arizona as a child, but he's got that Ohio gene in him. Governor, the school choice matter will become an issue of competitiveness for a state. I know the state of Tennessee is pushing for school choice. Florida, Iowa, West Virginia, Arizona led the way. What's the best model? What did Arizona put in? Because I think it's backpack funding and it's purely backpack funding, which is my favorite model, but explain it to us.
Yeah, let me simplify it, Hugh. The best model is what Arizona did, and it's universal school choice. So basically, to simplify it, every family, every parent in Arizona has access to their taxpayer dollars. It's a nearly $10,000 scholarship for you to send your child to the school of your choice, regardless of what that school is. So it can be a Christian or Catholic school, it can be a private school. You can use it for tutoring or for homeschooling. It puts the parents in charge. As my friend as well, Corey DeAngelis, says, let's fund the student, not the system. This is the way to break up the cartels of these big government unions, put parents back in charge, having a say in the school district. It's not only good for a child's education, we know that every kid learns differently. We know that many kids were affected differently by COVID, and we want parents to have that choice. It's American to have that choice. Condoleezza Rice does a great job of talking about the choice her parents had in Birmingham, Alabama, because they were school teachers and cared about education. But the issue today is a kid trapped by his zip code to what his future is going to be. We don't want that to happen. We believe in equality of opportunity here. So universal school choice is the model. Now 11 states have that around the country. I'm actually in Texas today. We're advocating on behalf of this and working with the Cicero Institute and Texas Public Policy on some other issues. So we do think states are getting this over the finish line, but this should be available to every parent in every state. So if you're out there listening, talk to your state legislator, talk to your governor, and you can even go to educationfreedomalliance.org and make sure your voice is heard, because you should have this available to you in your state to educate your child.
Now, Governor Ducey, how is it taken off in Arizona? It's available to everyone. I think this is now about to start year 2 in September. There are some hiccups in the rollout, but I think they're straightened out now. But this governor your successor is in the pocket of the teachers union. I'm not sure they're really trying to make this work.
Well, Katie Hobbs is hostile to school choice, and she says she wants to destroy the program. Now, she won't be able to do that as long as we maintain a Republican majority in our legislature. And we have that by only one seat today in our House and our Senate. But it's taken off great, Hugh. We have 77,000 families that have chosen to participate in universal school choice. And I want people to know this is not an anti-public school program. We have some excellent public schools in the state of Arizona, but nearly 80% of the people that are participating in this are middle and lower income folks, people that weren't happy with their choice of public school, or their child may have just needed a change, or it wasn't the right place for them. So 77,000 parents are participating. We think we'll be over 100,000 heading into the next school year. And this is just the beginning for what we think will be educational freedom around the country. And that's why we want people to go to educationfreedomalliance.org and participate in this, because this should not be something that's limited to 11 states. It really is something that should be available to all Americans.
educationfreedomalliance.org. That's educationfreedomalliance.org. Thank you, Governor Ducey, and go Bucks. I think you would agree that they're favored for the national championship, right?
Go Buckeyes, and go Sun Devils to you as well.
Oh, okay. The Sun Devils are fine. Did we No, they're not in the Pac-10. They had to go to the Big 12, right? They got exiled.
Big 12.
To the
Yep.
Yeah, Big 12. Well, Colorado's going to take care of you there, Governor. But way to go, Sun Devils, but Buckeyes.
We'll talk later on this, Hugh.
All right. Be well, Governor.
Okay.